great day. We're open to our first panel discussion now, where we truly bring together the visionaries defining what's next here for Saudi retail. This powerhouse CEO panel will explore how the kingdom is shaping global retail playbooks, from digital integration to human leadership. Please give a very big Riyadh welcome to Yunus Gaini, the COO of Legate, May Kanunji, the CEO of Ani and Dani, Ali Sharif, the CEO of Al Utaim Life Co., Sandeep Sharma, the CEO of United Homeware Company, Shibu Thakakan, CEO of Style Landmark Group, Siad Sada, the Group Deputy CEO of FBH Group, Logesh Mondaliar, the Country Head of KSA of Mum's World, and Niraj Tekdandani, the Group CEO of the Apparel Group. Somebody likes you. And moderating the high-impact session, Imad Matar, KSA and Middle East Deals Advisory and Transaction Services Leader from PwC. A heck of an intro, and it promises to be a heck of a panel. Over to you, guys.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Really feels great to be here. We were supposed to go first, but we were saved by the Riyadh traffic. We had some delays, so people had to step in. So thank you for whoever stepped in to do the session before us. But we're very happy to be with you here today. Look, it's a very interesting time to be a retailer, specifically in Saudi Arabia. It is certainly a country which is, as previous people have mentioned, we are now certainly exporting innovation across the world, which is creating some challenges, I would say, for local Saudi retailers, because it's opening the eyes of everyone on the globe around the consumers in Saudi Arabia. Retailers in KSA, I would say, are facing a few challenges, to say the least. Supply chain, logistics, rising cost pressures, the ability to retain the skilled talent, to grow talent. But I think most importantly is how to deal with the shift on consumer behaviors. The Saudi consumers are certainly becoming much more cost conscious, but also health conscious. They are certainly becoming also much more digital, and hence expect things to go in a much faster way, in a much faster pace. So no matter how you look at it, the Saudi retailers aren't doing a very easy task. They are competing against the world, but I have to say they are delivering in a great way, in a great shape. And every time I speak with any of the Saudi retailers, they're always positive. I think that's something great to have. And they're always looking forward to the next quarter. So next quarter sales will be the best sales. That's what all of them say, and hopefully this will always be the case. So thank you again for having us today. I will gladly moderate this panel. Before I start with a few questions, I would like to ask my panelists to kind of have a brief intro, 30 seconds intro around themselves, their roles, before we start the questions. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Shibu. I'm the CEO of Stylee. Stylee is Landmark Group's e-commerce only entity. We are a marketplace, a fashion and lifestyle marketplace. Very proud to be born in the region and from the region. And so for us, we understand the Saudi customer, very proud to be part of our understanding of the customer and driving towards and playing a small part in the 2030 vision of the kingdom.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Yunus Gaini. I'm the CEO of Legate, and thank you, Imad, for the introduction. And I would like to thank the SRF team for the great preparation for today. Just to give you a small brief about Legate, because a lot of people were asking me, what is Legate? Legate is a chain of convenience stores. We are a young but an ambitious company. We have approximately 40 stores around the kingdom. We have in Neom, we have in Red Sea Project, we have in Al Ula, we have in CAF, STC, and the rest of the stores are in the gasoline stations. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Imad, for the introduction. Thank you for SRF team for putting us all together as every year to celebrate a year of success. I'm May Kanunji, the Chief Commercial Officer of Ani and Dani, Saudi chocolatier since 1998, built around the beauty of celebration and happiness. My background, I'm proudly working in retail for the last 2 decades, have witnessed the transformation of brands from traditional to experiential, from transactional to emotional, and I'm very happy today to be part of this great panel to discuss one of the 7 waves.
Good morning. Thank you, Ahmad. It's really great to see the lovely people of retail always around Riyadh and Saudi Arabia. My name is Ali Sharif. I am the CEO of Al Uthaim Life. Al Uthaim Life is a fashion retailer. We operate around 35 brands, 400 stores, and around 15 e-commerce stores. Our stores are in 50 different malls in 20 different cities in this beautiful country. Thank you.
Hello, morning all, and morning to the fellow panelists as well. My name is Sanjeev. I'm the CEO of NICE, which is a United Homewares company, part of Al Fawzan Holding. We are an omnichannel retailer in the homewares industry, 15 stores and an e-commerce platform, plus marketplaces, all the popular ones. Yeah, I'm looking forward to great interaction here and learning and understanding what's happening in the market and how we can jointly grow and satisfy the Saudi customer going forward. Yeah, cheers.
Hi everyone. My name is Logesh Mutliar, country head for Mums World. We are a mother and baby e-commerce platform and grateful to be here. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Neeraj Tekchandani. I'm the CEO at the Apparel Group. Apparel Group represents about 85 brands with 2,400 stores across the region. And just in Saudi, we are about 850 odd stores, presence across fashion, food and beverage, footwear, beauty, and so on, and an omni-channel player as well with sixthstreet.com as our e-commerce marketplace. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Ziad Saadi. I'm presenting APH Group. I'm the Deputy CEO. We could say APH Group is a homegrown food and beverage company. We do have over 80 brands and 85 stores across Saudi Arabia and UAE.
Thank you. So let me start with you, Yunus, if you don't mind. So what's currently driving convenience store segment, you think? I mean, is it location, product mix, customer behavior, any other factors?
We have seen over the past few years that the shopping frequency of the customer has increased, while the shopping basket size has decreased, went down. And this gives us an indicator that the customer behavior is shifting from the weekly big shopping journey to a more frequent day-to-day visits to the convenience stores. If we monitor the sales, we can see that the footfall in the convenience store has increased like 3 to 5% more than the supermarket business. And this is where the direction is moving now, especially in Riyadh. If we talk about the location is very important and critical. We can see that most of the locations that are located in the transport hub, like the metro, like the bus stations, have more 20 to 30% increase in sale over the other stores. When we talk about product mix, the mentality has changed for the convenience store. It's not about a prepackaged item anymore. It's about grab and go. It's about barista style coffee. It's about premium products. So the shopping experience to the store is becoming more different. So if we want to identify it into 3 parts, let's say, for example, the customer behavior is the catalyst, and the location is the foundation. Eventually, when you reach to the product mix, this is the ongoing, let's say, foundation for growth.
Great. No, thank you, Yunus. I mean, if you touch on this consumer behavior, I'll go to May. I mean, we're hearing a lot around Gen Z. They are a generation which are certainly putting digital in the forefront, but at the same time, they're very authentic. So In saying that, how do you think you are reshaping the brand so that you are engaging more with them to build brand loyalty with the Gen Z?
I love this question because, you know, we all raise now Gen Z in our homes, and I think we're facing one of the most difficult generations to target as brands because, yes, they've grown up in the digital era, but they are always looking for the connection. As you said it properly, they want what is authentic. They're not anymore inspired by just a brand or you know, like the marketing campaign that we do. They want to know what's behind the brand. They look for the transparency and authenticity of the brand. And this is where at Annie and Danny we're looking at changing how engagement with the brand is happening. Instead of working on storytelling, we want to do story sharing. And this is starting to become across all our touch points. So from the first phase where all our brand campaigns, we're having Generation Z as part of our content creators. We're not recruiting models anymore. We're recruiting them to create the reels that talk about the product. We're actually having them as our taste councils as well, so that they can shape what is the flavor, what is the next flavor of Annie and Danny. So this is more of a co-create experience, building a trust. So loyalty today is not anymore as before points and promotions. It's more about a brand that speaks of my values as a customer, whether Generation Z or others, talking about the identity. And this is where if they see that the brand is presenting them, then they don't only buy more, they also become advocates of the brand. They defend you, they speak about you, they are brand ambassadors. We just saw it in the keynotes where, you know, being a brand ambassador increases not only the brand engagement, but also the satisfaction of the customers. So yeah, Generation Z are, you know, transforming the way we do retail for sure. They're pushing us all to become more human, more connected to them, but in such a beautiful way because, you know, my son, for example, would use AI probably 10 times more than I use Google. But at the same time, he's also saying, I don't want AI, we should be more connected, stop using it. So it's quite a very important generation, and I think it will be very enjoyable to target them.
Absolutely, and I love the idea from consumer to co-creator. I think that's a very strong idea. Ali, on cost of living, which I mean is on the high, right, and it's rising year on year. How are retailers balancing affordability with the expectation with premium experience as well?
Expectation. Well, I would love to find, you know, a limit of expectations for customers. I've been in this industry for 30 years, and I've seen the changes throughout the years, from, you know, having the retail in souks until now, it's at the tip of your finger. Things are changing, and our business is always changing, and it's been always in trouble. Retail has been always in trouble. But the good thing is that it's resilient, and resilience is one of the great traits of our industry. Now, the change or the shift in the customers' paradigms and finding different ways to compete with retailers is that the customer perception, you know, previously we were saying price sensitive. They're not price sensitive only now. They're value sensitive. They're experience sensitive. They're not looking just for a good price. They want good price and good quality and good design and good fashionability and a good place to shop from. So the competition is getting even harder, and it's becoming really, really hard. Now, with the facilitators like the data and the AI and, you know, the grown industry of supply chain over the world, it's giving us frankly, a good tool to find that kind of balance. Data is extremely important. But what I want to say here is that data is important. Of course, digital is important, technology is important, but don't you guys forget about your store. Your store is the story. Your store is where you meet the customers. Your store should tell a great story. And of course, people say retail is detail. It is detail. Every detail of your store, either online or offline. We were talking about the CX a moment ago, but even the physical stores experience is incredible. Has an incredible impact on customers. I will recall some of the experiences in Al Uthaim Life. You know, we're operating, one of the brands that we're operating is Aldo. Aldo is a footwear brand. It's a, you know, lifestyle brand. It's famous for its fashionability and, you know, progressive direction towards, you know, different generations, and especially for the young generation. And I recall the state of the store in Nakhil Mall in Riyadh, when we took over the store and we renovated with a new design, with a new soul, with a new type of retail. The impact is amazing. We had around 50% increase in sales because of the experience in the store, because of how, I can talk forever, you should just stop me whenever you feel. So we operate Kiabi, for example. The Kiabi management, when they, from France, when they come to Saudi, they tell us, if our stores look like yours, we will be selling, you know, much, much more. The LC Waikiki, we just opened in Hayat in Andalus, and in another 2 locations, and we're opening like 40 locations in the next 4-5 years. And the amount of appreciation from the customers, not only the atmosphere and the look and feel, but really finding what they're looking for. And this is where the data and digital side comes from, really curating a great deal of cost saving by buying exactly what the customers needs. I'll stop.
Thank you. No, thank you. All good points. And I think it takes me to a very kind of timely question to Sanjeev around how do you see physical retail spaces evolving from points of sales to points of experience?
See, I think back in the day, you know, when e-commerce was coming in more to this part of the world in 2000, say 12, 13, 14, it was a difficult shift for the for customers as well as for the retailers. You know, we're brick and mortar, we're very stagnant, and gradually now most of the businesses have adapted to that because that's the need of the customer. In fact, most of the businesses, and a business like ours, has put e-commerce at the forefront to ensure that the static nature of brick and mortar does not just end there as a transaction. You know, the customer, like I always say, is not a number on the ledger. Is a true person. They have feelings, they have a behavior, and we have got to learn from what they are today buying. And just like my co-panelist said, the data is the critical part of that. Experiences are, you know, not about just getting to a store in a static space where you buy a product and just check out. We are also in our business using a lot of digital data to understand customers' you know, changing behaviors. And one of the key trends that is there, which the gentleman spoke about, was personalization. And especially when it comes to the home industry, personalization plays a very, very important role. How do I create curated journeys for the customer, both online, offline? The experience needs to be seamless. You can't look very different online versus different offline. And bridging that gap is very, very critical, and making sure that the customer sees you as a full bolted omni-channel experience. I think some of the retailers around in the West do an exceptionally good job. One of my favorite ones that do a great job in the home segment is Restoration Hardware. I think IKEA does a great job as well. And we look up to these brands when we are, you know, as a homegrown brand, trying to improve the customer experience on a regular basis. I think one of my experiences of walking into a Restoration Hardware store in the US was, oh wow, you know, they have a huge gallery, and they call the stores a gallery and not just a static store. And when you walk into their you know, restaurant, the experience is completely different. So that brings the customer from shopping online to saying, oh wow, I want to actually get to the physical store and start shopping offline as well, because I can enjoy my food, I can enjoy a good experience with the customer, with the entire family, and then also, go through my shopping journey. And I think these are great lessons. These are great trends that are going to come up. We will see them happening as we speak. Even running master classes in the stores to create communities, link them together. I know a lot of brands like Alo Yoga, which creates this whole experience of not looking at the customer only from a transaction point, but bolting it together. So yeah, there are multiple different changes or trends that are coming, but one of the most important ones I think is personalization, design, curation, and this is going to lead for brands that are looking at understanding the customer a little bit more deeply, more connected. I think this is going to be a key trend for them to follow.
Great. No, thank you. Logesh, first, welcome to Saudi. It's been a year now, yes. I think, so glad to have you here. Logesh, the online retail space in Saudi Arabia is becoming very competitive, yes. as you know. But look, I mean, Mom's World has been one of the pioneers in that space. In the family and baby products, what are you doing to kind of sustain your leadership positions in face of all the competition that you face locally, regionally, and even globally?
Thanks, Imad. Yes, increasingly competitive, where price is paramount, right? I think at Mom's World, we differentiate ourselves with an obsession with simplifying parenthood, right? And for us, what this means is really focusing, one, on trust and curation. And we do this by verifying and curating hundreds of thousands of products to make sure that we have the right product for the mother, right? Secondly, convenience. We understand the importance of speed of delivery and building a platform where it's the easiest to return a product, right? I think convenience alone is no longer a differentiator today. Support is, right? And we unlock the support by providing 24/7 access to a product specialist, right? And I think these factors combined allow us to build more than a retailer. We're building a support system that empowers mothers throughout their journey. So I think it's a combination of factors, yes.
Okay, thank you. Niraj, the Apparel Group is one of the leading groups which have really expanded across different categories, from fashion to lifestyle to F&B. At this scale, how do you sustain focus and agility and brand relevance?
Thank you, Imad. And soon getting into the entertainment as well, right? We've just signed in the FEC space with also 2 brands. I think so it's been a phenomenal journey for the group over the last 28 years now. And when we started with footwear, gradually moved to fashion and so on. And the point of focus is largely because we have got dedicated teams managing each of the business. They come from that background. They are specialized people, which we take on board. And the second thing what we do is also agree on an annual business plan as well as a 5-year business plan with all the brand partners. And then we have a review mechanism in place where we would review our track or progress against those business plans. So that helps us keeping on track. As far as the agility is concerned, the group today has the advantage of having a huge infrastructure. It's like Burj Khalifa, right? When you have a strong foundation, no matter how many floors you put, you could reach up to the 27 meters. Similar is the case at the Apparel Group, right? We have our own joinery firm. We have our own neon signages and everything of that sort. We have our own logistics firm. So they take care of every new brand which comes in, and it's just like a plug and play. The third thing which I would specify here from a brand relevance perspective, because of your relationship with the landlords across the region, across the portfolio of 85 brands, it's easier to get the mileage and so on and get the new brand into the malls very soon. Wingstop, we just launched. We today have got 16 stores here, but by the end of the year, we'll be 50 stores. And another thing would also be for us, the loyalty program, Club Apparel. 14 million eyeballs on day one when we launch a new brand or a new store. This is huge in terms of the brand relevance that any new brand would get on the portfolio. Thank you.
Thank you. Ziad, a question. Look, the majority of Saudi consumers are now, as I said in the intro, are becoming very health conscious. Some statistics, 66% of consumers in Saudi Arabia are planning to increase their consumption of fresh produce while the global average is only 56%. So Saudi is 10% higher than the global average. They are also raising concerns around ultra-processed food and the use of pesticides. So a lot of decisions are being made around what is the healthiest option for me to follow. In your organization, what are you doing to make sure that this growing demand for healthier and more natural options is well taken care of and adapted for?
Well, that's a good one. Across Saudi Arabia, we do understand and we can see the powerful shift in consumer behavior. And I believe we have considered and we have made our growth strategy into basically three pillars. We considered the transparency and traceability and the transformation. So first, when it comes to transparency, we have enhanced the transparency by reformulating our menus, considering ultra ingredients processed, and we have increased the use of local sourced creative produce, and basically we are working closely with trusted Saudi farms, make sure everything reaches to our customer as fresh, as transparent as possible. And I believe second, traceability, we are investing and we are working with digital supply chain system and ARB integration. We are monitoring and we track the ingredients from farm to fork. So this is not only guarantees the food safety, but gives our customers, I would say, a confidence in the product that we serve. And the third part is the transformation. At APH Group, we are basically creating a new health-focused menu lines, which is focused more into natural ingredients, cleaner preparation method. And I would say, by end of day, this is more than just a response to the market trend. It is our contribution to Vision 2030s, how we're going to be sustainable and focus on equality of life. Thank you.
Thank you. Shibu, so Styly began as a direct-to-consumer brand and is now more evolving into a full-fledged marketplace with 400 plus brands. What's driving that shift, and what does it say about digital fashion platforms in the region, and how they should scale up in the future?
Thanks, Ahmad. Styly's evolution is pretty fascinating, to be honest. We started as a direct-to-consumer brand, and in a very short period of time, we have managed to become a loved brand by our customers in the region. Our understanding of what our customer wants has taken us closer to them. But we've also understood that our customers are also changing in the way they shop. The amount of selection and optionality that our customers seek today is different from how our customers were a few years back. And that has made us pivot into becoming a fully open marketplace where today we add almost one brand a day. And we are thinking that this trend is only going to increase in speed. Now, there is one part of it which is, how much of selection can we offer? But a few panelists rightly said about customer experience and, curation and how it is important to make sure that the customer is able to see what they want to shop for. And that is where personalization kicks in. That is where a keen eye on what drives customer experience kicks in. One of the things that we do well is we do same-day deliveries in Riyadh. We do next-day deliveries in most of Saudi. And we are also enabling faster shopping for our customers through hyper-personalization and semantic search. We recently launched semantic search, pretty interesting technology. You go and put in, I want beachwear, and I'm able to find beachwear for myself. And the same you can do for vacation wear and many other things. So, you know, while selection is one part of the story, I think there are so many different elements to building strong marketplaces, and we are focused on what our customers are demanding of us. I think one of the very interesting things that have happened in the region is also the Vision 2030. I think that's creating a whole new wave of entrepreneurs, new brands, and Stylee is positioning itself to being the marketplace which brings in Saudi-first brands, Saudi-first designers onto our platform. And these are things that we are investing heavily into in addition to the customer experience that we are looking to drive.
Thank you. Yunus, back to you. How will automation like self-checkout or even unmanned stores change the customer experience? Are we going too much into technology and digital?
AI, automation is the trendy word at the moment. It is now and it is the future. And this is where we are heading. Just to give you a small brief, I came to Saudi in 2003. And I remember when Kingdom Tower was the limit of Riyadh. That's the border. After that, that's the desert where we used to go bar and barbecue. Since that time, I used to hear about self-service checkouts. AI wasn't there at that time. Lately, when we talk about self-service, you can see it in most of the retail shops. It is there. It is a must. It reduces the queuing. It's a more friendly better customer experience. However, manless store is the future. I've been to Europe a couple of months ago, and I wanted to go to buy grocery. So I didn't go to a hypermarket. I didn't go to a supermarket. I didn't even go to a convenience store. I saw a manless store around 30 square meters. That's it, where you can scan the barcode on the entrance, enter to the store, do your shopping, pay, and get out. No employee in the store. You did it all by yourself. This is where we're heading. Saudi is part of the G20, and this is where we are going. Here in Saudi, at the moment, if we talk about manless store, it's still early to decide. But all of us have mobile phones, smartphone. We know how to use it. It's not going to be difficult. We had more difficult things in the past, and we overcome it, and we are doing it at the moment. But the major issue is not in the AI or manless store or automation. It's what's behind the scene. It's how you prepare for that store. It's how you manage your supply chain, how your AI control your availability in the store, how the replenishment is happening. That's the real secret in there. The customer doesn't know anything about that. The customer knows he wants to go inside the store, buy, get out. That's it. What happens from the factory to the shelf, he's unaware of that. So yes, in the future, manless store, I believe, in my opinion, is going to be the viral and trendy word. AI automation is something going on. Of course, it's improving day by day. The customer behavior, if we go back to the first question, the customer behavior is that I want to go to the store within less than 3 minutes, finish my shopping, and get out. This is what I believe in.
Look, it's an interesting point. I mean, I recall every time we're abroad, whether in the US or in Europe, you'd find the self-checkout, and then you'll find kind of the regular cashier.
Yes.
You typically find a lot of people at the regular cashier, and then a few years back, at the self-checkout counter, you'd have even more people trying to solve problems for people who are trying to check out. Exactly. But as you move through the years, the number of people who are trying to solve these problems has begun to decrease, right? And then people who are queuing to the cashier are also decreasing. So, I mean, in Saudi, I think it will be a journey. But even in places where we see self-checkout, I personally still prefer to go to the cashier. It's easier to complain to a human being as opposed to complain to a machine. But I mean, I'm 45, so that's.
Look, AI and automation is not a replacement for the people. Okay, let's say it's an added value. It's an enabler. Okay, it adds value to the organization, to the whole experience, shopping experience. And let's keep in mind that a lot of events are happening in Saudi in the near future. We have the World Cup, we have the Expo, we have many things going on. So this means a lot of tourists coming in. If I'm a tourist and I want to come to Saudi, I'm not going to go to a hypermarket to do a 20 riyal, 30 riyal shopping. I'm going to go to a convenience store. And if I find a manless store next to my hotel, I'm going to use it. So this is what we need to think about. This is what we need to plan. Who do it now will grab it early.
True. Global retail certainly is facing some headwinds, yet the consumers in GCC are spending. I mean, and that's good. It would be. What do you think is driving this?
I think this is a great question, Imad, because I believe all of us are so lucky to be part of the retail industry in today's world in Saudi Arabia. And trying to answer your question, I would go back to 2 decades, you know, just like how Yunus went back to the day he came to Riyadh. I would go back and ask myself, you know, what have changed? What actually have changed is that change is not happening anymore to us. We are defining the change. This is a big difference. We, you know, 2 decades ago, when I started working in retail for international brands, we used to wait for them to give us the wave. Whether from a marketing, brand strategy, etc. Today, homegrown brands for which I work, like Annie and Danny, we, you know, the founders are putting the vision within the management. We're listening to our customers who, it's not a coincidence, it's a transformation. They started to love buying local. They have this pride. Homegrown brands are becoming such an attire to all generations in Saudi Arabia. And I would say, what Mr. Muhammad started in the morning, Mr. Muhammad Al-Alawi, is belief. I really think this is what is moving the Saudi retail industry. We believe in our stories, each one of us, and our customers feel it. This is a nation pride. So this is one of the things that are really distinguishing us from international brands. Today, when I attend conferences in Europe, they're asking us, they're asking me, what's your next chapter? What is Riyadh preparing? You know, they're waiting for the wave. Second, and very importantly also, we're moving from product to experiential. As Yunus said, and Ali earlier, stores are becoming more and more important, even though we're moving to more online, people using more their mobile, internet penetration, but they're looking for the experience. They still want to be in touch with the brand. So that's a difference. In Europe, when I attend, you know, discussions, panels, they're talking about e-com taking over. In Saudi, it's together. It's online and offline. It's AI and human that makes us better.
So May, your concern from competition is from the next local giant coming, not from the global coming to Saudi.
Yeah, exactly. The players, the main players are the homegrown brands who understand the market where, you know, as we discussed earlier, their customers are their content creators. Yeah. They create the product, the marketing strategy. So this is where the change is happening.
Yeah. Thank you. Ali, if you look ahead 5 years, that would be probably around Expo time. What does the Saudi lifestyle experience would look like, and what role would Uthaim Life play in that, in shaping that lifestyle?
Everybody wants to know what's going to happen in the next 5 years. Nobody knows. But I will tell you what I think. And I think that the evolution of retail in the next 5 years is going to be humongous with the data-driven AI type of business. But I will not talk about that. I will talk about the same point that May was talking about, because I think it is the most important thing now in Saudi for the Saudi retail, which is homegrown brands. And when we're talking about the Saudi fashion scene, we have to look at the homegrown brands aspect of the business. This is where things are moving. We're talking about Gen Z, and this generation, the young generation, which is going to take over eventually, is confident when it comes to fashion. It's well connected, tech savvy, and they're connected all day. And they're local. They like local. They appreciate local. Before we talk about local, they're very much aware and appreciative of the sustainability and the environment-friendly products. This is the generation we're talking about. And local. They're looking proudly into a local business. And frankly, if you look at the elements of localizing the fashion scene in Saudi Arabia, when you see what's the changes that are taking place since the launch of the Vision 2030, the socio-cultural changes that are taking place in Saudi Arabia, and the movement of the youth in exploring what's next is a big opportunity for everybody to explore what they can do accompanied with the extremely rich heritage and culture of Saudi Arabia. It's a huge culture. It's a very rich culture that everybody in Saudi can really curate a great story out of. Over and above, I don't recall, I don't know of any country that is supporting this direction as much as Saudi Arabia. With the Fashion Commission, with the support, I was like 3 days ago in the launch of the partnership between the Fashion Commission and Marangoni Institute of Italy to also support the people. Burak was talking about they initiated the 100 brands of Saudi, and he's talking now about 340 brands that they have so far. But is there a Saudi Zara? Not yet. Is there a Saudi Chanel? There are really good opportunities and good attempts, but still the opportunity is there. I think the next 5 years will witness a great deal of localization, homegrown brands, and not starting from zero, just taking the international experiences with an international level of business, but with a local touch.
Thank you. Sanjeev, in your organization, where do you see AI genuinely adding value? Is it within your internal operations? Is it within your customer experience? Is it within the personalization of products? Where do you see the most impact of AI?
See, I think, a few years back, we were reading about AI, that it's coming, and now it's no more the future, it's here. So we can say we are living in the future. There are several use cases. I mean, everybody knows what AI can do and how it's really, whether it's a healthcare, whether it's, the customer experience industry, retail, hotel, F&B, etc. There are multiple use cases, but let me just talk to you about and people around in the room about what we've done with AI. And one of the use cases for us is from our CRM point of view. And I spoke about personalization. Our CRM agency that we work with, as a white glove service, they offer us a little bit more detailed, very recently, a little bit more detailed understanding about our customer to start building on loyalty, personalization, etc. And the results were phenomenal, and these insights were completely AI driven. Just to give you a index, the first H1 of our, this year, we have 50% more repeat customers coming in, which were otherwise had churned out or had become dormant. And these customers came in with a higher AOV as well, and they shopped online and offline. So the power of AI, that how you personalize messages, how do you curate that entire customer experience, and get them back into your stores or online, can make a huge difference. That's one use case which we've already implemented, and we've seen great results, and we continue to work towards that. The second one from AI is we're also working with one of the sponsors of the event as well on demand forecasting and supply forecasting tools, because I think inventory management has a massive use case from an AI perspective. It can reduce, we know what the benefits are, and some of the early proof of concepts that have come around have been phenomenal. I mean, it massively reduces working capital usage, really the right kind of inventory, etc. So these are all going to really benefit retail, ultimately benefit retailers to pass on benefits to the consumer. And that's what we want. We want, like I mentioned, it's not about just price sensitivity, about great value. And I think that's what the customer wants today. And if the retailers are able to use technology to really bring efficiency, bring optimization in their working standards, this is definitely going to pass value to the consumer, and that's great for any field of business. So yeah, I believe AI is definitely there. It's not the future; it's in. We just need to make sure which battles we want to pick first, and I think we'll win those from a business point of view.
Great. Lugesh, is there anything called over-digitizing? I mean, is there any risk of over-digitizing the retail experience? And how do leaders strike the balance between human touch and automation?
Sure. I think when human need is at the center of design, digitization allows for support to be more personal and more accessible, right? And today we see our mothers are more informed, more digital, and more time sensitive than ever, right? So, while our behaviors are evolving, our human need of support and trust is constant, right? So at Mom's World, this allows us to free up time for busy mothers. It allows us to have human-backed expert recommendations, which is essential to build trust. And I think most importantly, it allows us to foster digital support communities where mothers can connect, right? So we don't see a tension with more digitization. I think it's an opportunity for more human-centric digitization, right? Thanks.
Niraj, if I go back to you and we discuss again, I mean, following up on May's point around localization. You do partner with some of the world's most iconic global brands, right? But how do you balance between global brand standards and the need to localize experiences in Saudi?
So I would say, and some of the panelists also have shared, right?
Yeah.
Phygital, local, and AI will be, or are the current themes which every retailer works upon, right? I think so. What we do in terms of the local, while we would learn the DNA of the brand and try to implement the best in the region, you also need to customize to the local tastes and the consumer preferences. And this happens with us in 3 formats. One is the product assortment. So with the international brands, we work with the local customized collection. So Ali can say that. For Aldo, we have GCC exclusive handbags range in the region. With Skechers, we have got their exclusive Hutch collection made for the region, and so on. So that's on the product assortment. The second thing that we would work is on the marketing campaigns. Some of the marketing campaigns that the global brands would have may not be adaptable in the same format in the region. So we would do even local marketing campaigns, local shoots with the influencers, and make it relevant to the marketplace. Especially during Ramadan, we would do exclusive capsules and campaigns with the local celebrities to show that we are part of the same society and fabric. And third, I would say for us is also the homegrown brands. The homegrown brands which Apparel Group has created have all been identified to cater or address a specific need of the customer base, which might not be addressed by the current brands in the market. Sushi Library is one of that example. It's a fusion food, very different sushi made to the appetite or the taste of the local market. So these would be the trends, I would say, in terms of making relevant for our local markets. And again, the markets are very different, right? The weather patterns are different between the 6 GCC countries and so on. So these are all the things we do at the Apparel Group.
And you certainly see the trends continuing to grow in that same direction in the future, right? So more local, more tailoring for local.
I would fully agree.
Yeah.
I would fully agree. And we are focusing more on those local tastes. And in fact, you would see another 2-3 labels which are coming from the Apparel Group, which are homegrown.
Thank you. Ziad, I mean, as the majority of panelists have already mentioned that customers are looking now more towards experiences. So in the context of your organization, you would say diners are looking not just to have some good food, they're probably looking as well to have a good experience. How are you using data, design, or technology to enhance the customer journey whenever they visit? Sorry.
Well, basically, we do understand diners today, they're not just looking for a good meal, they are looking for experience. So at APH Group, we are redefining that experience throughout three things, basically. We are talking about the data, we are talking about the design, and we are talking about technology. So we do understand data gives us insights through analytics and I would say platform system. So now we do understand our customer preferences in a real time, what they love and when they dine, and how they are engaged with each brand. So we are monitoring every interaction can be more personal and timely and relevant. When it comes to design, going back to Ali and Mai, we need to pay attention even to the design. So from our perspective, we are designing our spaces to feel more human and immersive. I would say from lighting to digital menus, all the way to smart ordering screen. And for sure, the technology is the engine behind all of that. At the heart of all of this is one belief. We do understand that hospitality is extremely evolving. It is no longer about the food. It's more about connection, experience, and purpose. And that's where exactly APH Group is leading. We are building the future of dining more smarter, more human, and deeply Saudi at heart.
Thank you. Shibut, do you believe the next phase of defensibility in fashion retail will come from technology, culture, or community?
Interesting question, Imad. I actually think that technology is an enabler. Culture is more context, and community is the multiplier. And there is one thread that is common to all of this that ties it all up, which is customer love. At Stylee, how we think about community is in a few different ways. One, we look at social listening very carefully. We look at voice of the customer. We try to understand what our customers are saying and what do they want from us. But in addition to that, there is a very interesting feedback loop that we get from our content creators. We have 5,000 plus influencers, content creators who work with us. And they give us a lot of feedback on what our customers want and how do we build that sense of community. Because without that sense of community, the multiplier effect never comes in. You want to transactionally buy customer loyalty, it will never happen. The sense of purpose and community drives acquisition. The second part, which is around culture, is more context-driven. What brands do you onboard? What do you want to show to your customers? What sort of selection do you want to build? At the end of the day, if you don't understand the preferences of your customer, you are going to fall behind. We try to do that in a few different ways. With our private label, we have selection which is specific for our modest customers, elevated evening wear. We have different lines which we are able to communicate very clearly to our customers, which is our own private label, but with all of our seller brands, we are able to create a sense of community for our customers where customers can find what they're looking for. And technology is the enabler. It ties everything up together. Somebody spoke about personalization, hyper-personalization. You know, how do you make it easier for customers to find what they're looking for in the easiest, fastest way without thinking twice? And that's what winning is going to be all about in the coming years. If a customer can come in, find what they're looking for, check out easily, you get the product to them very quickly, you're making life easier for the customer and predictable. And that predictability is what will drive repeat customer behavior as well. But yeah, I mean, for us, all three of these are important, but most important is customer love.
Great, thank you. So look, thank you again, all of you. I think that was a lot of great ideas, a lot of great input. And certainly it fills us all with positivity around the future of KSA, future of the region, and the impact that KSA retailers are making locally, regionally, and globally. So please thank the panelists for all their great input, and really it was great to have this discussion with you today. The panelists will be around in case you have any pressing questions. You can free to kind of catch them outside. Thank you.
Thanks.